all. So he strikes like thunder.
I'm being sued? Hey everybody. Welcome to another episode of Seriously, where we take franchises to court! Oh, god damn it, this is bad. Says here it has something to do with not giving proper credit to someone who is instrumental to the creation of my Goldfinger review? Now this really offends me. I've been involved with a lot of video and film productions over the last 8 years, and nothing I find more disgusting than someone knowingly taking credit for someone else's work. I have to take a look at this later. We have a review to do. This is some weird timing, too. Thunderball isn't just the follow-up to the Bond film, it also probably has the most complicated production of the entire franchise. It all started about a decade earlier, and it all revolves around a man named Kevin McClory. In the summer of 1958, Ian Fleming attended a screening of the film The Boy and the Bridge, meeting Kevin McClory, the co-writer, director, and producer of the film. Fleming was growing desperate, as he'd been trying for years to get any of his 7 novels adapted to film, with the only taker being CBS 4 years earlier. The two, together with Fleming's friend Ivor Bryce and his friend Ernest Cuneo, formed a partnership called Xanadu Productions. Not that Xanadu, come on. The following year, the 4 men completed the outline for a new story with a female lead named Fatima Blush, set on a plane full of celebrities.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this hoopty of yours up another 1,000 feet, catch me a slipstream, and we're gonna be there 5 minutes early.
Not that plane of celebrities. McClory soon found himself obsessed with the idea of an underwater world and the creation of a diabolical supervillain, and the team wound up working through 10 separate script treatments, with titles like James Bond of the Secret Service and SPECTRE. Not that Oh, actually, you know what? I guess it is that SPECTRE, technically. Things started to take a turn for the worse, however, when The Boy and the Bridge failed to leave a positive impression on audiences. This put a bad taste in Fleming's mouth, who started to distance himself from the project, while McClory added screenwriter Jack Whittingham. The new 2-man team completed the script treatment, now called Longitude 78 West, which Fleming actually enjoyed, but changed the title yet again, this time to Thunderball. Now this is where things get really weird, really fast. January 1960. Fleming promised to send the screenplay to MCA, a company that's sorta, kinda NBC Universal now. He doesn't. And instead turns a novel treatment over to his own agent, with himself listed as the sole author. It was a mistake that might have actually cost Ian Fleming his life. No joke. Fleming's novel was published on March 27, 1961, at the tail end of what must have been one awful long weekend, since 3 days before, after reading an advance copy, McClory and Whittingham sued the ever-loving shit out of him. Much as I'm enjoying this series so far, he probably should have seen that coming. Dick move, Ian. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, guys.
What did I do?
Oh, sorry. Wrong Ian.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Anyway. The suit gets delayed for a few years, during which time the rights for Thunderball were locked down, but the novel was still allowed to be distributed. Meanwhile, 2 men we certainly haven't heard of yet, named Harry Saltzman and Albert Broccoli, commissioned Richard Maibaum to write the screenplay for the very first Bond film, Thunderball. How come every time I talk about the first film it winds up being a misdirect? Weird. It should be worth noting that despite the legal entanglements already surrounding the story, Saltzman and Broccoli did not receive permission from either side to produce the film adaptation. For those keeping score, we now have as many as 8 different people with some kind of claim to a Thunderball screenplay. Even Sean Connery was brought in expecting to be in Thunderball first, but eventually Dr. No was chosen instead, even though it still incorporated elements like Spectre from the Untouchable film.
You fellas are untouchable, is that the thing? No one can get to you?
Not that Untouchable film. Stop doing that. Me. 2.5 years after the initial lawsuit, McClory v. Fleming finally begins on November 19th, 1963. It was a complicated week. Oh, hey, Doctor Who. The trial went on for 9 days over the course of 3 weeks, during which, among other things, Ian Fleming had a fucking heart attack in the courtroom. Ivor Bryce advised that Fleming settle with McClory out of court, which they did. McClory kept the rights to the screenplay, while Fleming kept the rights to the novel, on the condition that it was recognized to have been based on a screenplay by Fleming, McClory, and Whittingham. Fleming also publicly acknowledged that his novel did borrow considerably from the screenplay treatment. re-enter Saltzman and Broccoli. Now having waited 4 years for the chance to make Thunderball, these guys were tired of waiting and perhaps a little bitter. The legal disputes finally settled, they approached Kevin McClory and offered him a producer credit in exchange for a 10-year license to the film rights. And yes, this entire long-winded, complicated mess was just a convoluted way of introducing Thunderball. Whoa, new gun barrel shot, nice. Now Bond isn't jumpy, he just has no sense of balance. Whoa, close one, Jim. Maybe he's just swooning since we open on a shot of the casket of Justin Bieber. Try listening to that without earmuffs, Dom Perignon. Wait, no, hang on. It's not for Justin Bieber. Who could it be then? James Brown, Jason Bateman, Jim Brewer. Oh God, is Jim Broadbent dead?
We're creatures of the underworld. We can't afford to laugh.
No, hang on. This is a spy film, so it's got to be some espionage figure, right? Let's see. Jack Bauer, Jason Bourne. Oh, hey, James Bond. How's it going? Wait, are they talking? Hang on a second.
The coffin. It has your initials. JB.
Oh, James Bond, who isn't dead. Wait a minute. Were they trying to trick people into thinking that the fourth Bond film opened with a dead Bond? What Bond film would start by killing James Bond? I'm not kidding about that plus 25 decibels, by the way. I can't even make out what Sean Connery's saying at all.
At this moment, rather him than me.
Anyway, Bond's here to observe the burial of Spectre's number 6, Colonel Jacques Bouvard, who killed 2 of his MI6 colleagues. He sees the Colonel's widow getting into her car and, being the leading expert on etiquette, comes to the only conclusion that he can.
I've come to offer my sincere condolences.
Whoa! Okay, I didn't think I was going to need this one, but... Whoops, sorry, wrong one.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
Does this even count as a cutaway gag, if that's probably what it was referencing in the first place? Basically, Bond determined that because Ms. Bouvard opened the car door herself, she must be a man.
Red wine with fish.
The other one on your knees.
The fight scene here is actually pretty damn entertaining, and a hell of a lot more polished than the opening to Goldfinger. This is Bob Simmons, by the way. You might know him better as... He also happens to be the stunt coordinator for 11 of the first 14 Bond films. So maybe it shouldn't be any surprise that he can still kick ass in heels. So Bond finally offs him with a fire poker, then delivers the best nonverbal fuck you I've ever seen. Now they'll never find him. Bouvard's men are hot on his trail, so Bond's gonna make a quick escape. Bond, what are you doing? Whoa, what? Fun fact, that was a real jetpack. It's an actual rocket propulsion device being developed for the U.S. Army, and it was called the Bell Rocket Belt, or, much more amazingly, the Man Rocket. Computer, memify! So Rocket Man lands by the Bondmobile, ensures his partner is a woman by opening the door for her, and runs a full 270 degrees to get to the driver's side door, then foils his pursuers in a way that would make Inspector Gadget proud.
He always runs while others walk.
You know, it's not unusual to find something a little humorous about this intro. I mean, what's gonna sound good isn't always "What's New, Pussycat?" It's Tom Jones is the joke I'm making. This is actually at least the third song written for this movie. First was another Shirley Bassey song called Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
Not that kiss kiss. Okay, this joke is dead.
He's tall and he's dark, and like a shark, he looks for trouble. That's why the zero's double. Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And then Johnny Cash took it upon himself to give it a go.
Thunderball, your fiery breath can burn the coldest man. And who is going to suffer from the power in your hand?
But in the end, we get meaningfully timed ejaculating harpoon guns, the uncomfortable McClory Whittingham credit, and sort of a distractingly busy scuba spearfisher chasing women sort of backdrop. So let's compare.
Goldfinger, he's the man.
Ah, then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. The ocean turns red.
Hey, you stay in your own movies, Robert Shaw. Anyway, back to...
Like thunder.
Thunderball? Weird. Anyway, after Tom Jones passes out on the final note, we close out the most dangerous game with Kevin McClory's name all alone in the middle of an ominous, entirely black screen. Gee, I wonder if Saltzman and Broccoli were sending a message. And the movie finally begins. We open on a street with a convenient direct line of sight to the Eiffel Tower with one really rude driver.
Hey, no parking here!
You can't tell me what to do. I'm number 2. Oh, wait, that actually might be number 2.
I regret to inform you all of the death of Spectre number 6. Colonel Jacques Bouvard was killed by an unknown assassin. His services will be greatly missed.
Man, if Bouvard really was number 6, Spectre's starting to slip. Personally, I think they peaked at number 5. And wait, what's the table runway for?
In your little blue suit, your spiky black hair, you're a super hot ninja machine!
What the fuck is number 1 doing? Is it really necessary to hide his face in this completely ridiculous way? You know, on second thought, this ain't half bad. Quick, someone buy me a country. Bye, Goj. Anyway, this is number 11, and number 1 has discovered that somebody's been skimming off the top of the area he and number 9 were in charge of. So, now that he's put the fear of God into number 11, he must punish... Number 9, of course. Okay. Oh, that's what the runway's for. No, sorry, what?
To demand a ransom from the North Atlantic Treaty Powers of $280 million. 100 million pounds. I have sent Spectre agent Count Lippi to the south of England, where he is making the necessary preparations. He is at a health clinic, conveniently located.
Okay, didn't realize the scene was done. Hey, what the fuck? Okay, fine, fuck you. Bond's spending some time getting a little physical therapy and fucking instantly notices the Spectre agent's suspicious tattoo. He tries to let Moneypenny know about it, but she's quick to point out that he is supposed to be resting.
File it till you get back.
Moneypenny, next time I see you, I'll put you across my knee.
On yogurt and lemon juice? I can hardly wait. On yogurt and lemon juice? I can hardly wait. On yogurt and lemon?
No, I heard it the first time. Yogurt and lemon juice? What the fuck does that mean? Is that a spanking or a recipe? Fuck it, I don't know. I guess that's just how they did it in the 60s. Jesus Christ, Bond, no!
Behave yourself, Mr. Bond. Oh, I can see there's only one place to keep you quiet.
The yogurt and lemon room.
And what's this?
A motorized traction table for stretching the spine. Some patients call it the rack.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, get on.
Where's the Kickstarter?
You're in one.
There now. First time I felt really safe all day.
That's our Bond. Really uncomfortably handsy.
I'll look in and see how you're doing in 15 minutes.
Judging by the obvious purpose of this machine, he'll probably be looking for a cigarette. Also, I'm sorry, are you leaving him unattended on a machine you just said people call the rack? That seems kind of, I don't know, fucking dangerous? God, I wonder how long it takes for him to get hurt. Okay.
Nice to have met you, Mr. Bond.
Well, gee, it's a good thing this table has a kill setting. Okay, Mr. Bond, I'm just gonna strap you down in this killer sex robot. Oh, darn, it's time for lunch. Oh my god, did they just kill the cameraman?
Oh, you poor dear. I can't think how it could have happened. I can tell you, it's a miracle I came back when I did.
Yes, it sure is a miracle that you left him alone on a spine-stretching machine. Oh, and that you weren't directly responsible for his death, that too. Which you waste no time trying to sweep under the rug to cover your ass.
Yes.
Might even shrink you back to size.
Somebody's gonna wish the day had never happened.
Well, you wouldn't tell Dr. Wayne. Please, I'd lose my job.
Well, I suppose my silence could have a price.
Don't mean... Oh, no.
Oh, yeah?
Blackmail? Oh, no. You're a monster, Jim. So when Bond's finally done irrigating, he discovers... Holy shit, someone's disembodied head! Quick, kill it again! Kill it again!
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Now, don't you worry. But I'll tell the chef.
Let me out of this bloody machine! Help!
Holy shit, does license to kill include steam broiling dudes alive? I figured it was more like the right to bear arms and use them indiscriminately. That's not what I meant!
It reduces the tensions.
Not mine.
Is she saying the gloves are making her nervous? Because they're really making me nervous. Whoa, don't scare me like that. This is Major Duvall, and he's on his way to go pilot a British bomber. Oh God, anything but a green screen. This guy is Angelo Palazzi, a SPECTRE agent. He's had some face-off surgery to impersonate Duvall and take over the plane he's supposed to be piloting.
Major Duvall of NATO. It's a routine flight, and you'll be flying a Vulcan at an altitude of 45,000 feet, armed with 2 atomic bombs. It's a routine flight, and you'll be flying a Vulcan at an altitude of 45,000 feet, armed with 2 atomic bombs. It's a routine flight, armed with 2 atomic bombs.
Why? Hey look, it's Ecto-1! Na-na-na-na-na-na. Actually, it looks like the hearse is practical instead of symbolic here, since they're bringing in a patient with some real stiff joints. It doesn't take Bond long to find the bag and reveal the mummy! Okay, obviously it's Duvall. After quickly disposing of an attacker... That'll do. He makes sure to attract a lot of attention to protect himself. This pisses off the table killer.
Haven't you had enough exercise for one evening?
It's funny you should say that.
Wait, why is that funny? What is funny is that no one notices Palazzi's totally normal aside glance. He plugs in his suppository flash drive and knocks out the rest of the showering Princess Leia cosplay team so he can drive in peace. Huh, that was easy. And apparently the gas butt plug was built for that. Also, Palazzi doesn't know how planes work. Oh, yeah, definitely deploy the landing gear. That'll help. Hey, we should go check up on that. Quick, send our oldest, fattest guy, who's also the one in charge. That way if something happens to him, we're totally fucked. Hello.
Hello. Goodbye.
So yeah, turns out Palazzi wanted too much money, so number 2 gives him a cut off the top, and then to add insult to injury, he steals his lunchbox. Wait, James Cameron's a part of SPECTRE too? I knew it. Avatar was terrible. Turns out he's actually there to steal the atomic payload from the training exercise, a real thing that would actually definitely ever happen, and the bombs have warnings all over them like, handle like eggs? I prefer to handle mine like yogurt and lemon juice. This is the second time in 20 minutes that I've had to Google some weird food-related phrase, and this one doesn't exist either. What's with all the food? So Largo's men load up the Nerf submarine to bring the nukes back to their boat and make sure that no one will ever find the submerged fighter jet. Nice job, guys. I forgot I was there already. Oh man, I love My Chemical Romance. Whoops, I mean, My Disco Volant? I'm so stealing that band name. Move over, Full Heart Laser Sword. Actually, Disco Volant is Italian for flying saucer, and the MY up top there actually means motor yacht, so the whole thing reads Motor Yacht Flying Saucer. Is that an oxymoron? Maybe? No idea? This was a boring cutaway. Meanwhile, in what's starting to feel like a completely separate movie, Bond leaves Shrublands almost 40 minutes into the film and suddenly remembers, oh yeah, Bond movie. I should probably be getting shot at right about now. But it's all good, because Kamen Rider's on the case. Holy shit, they ain't fucking around. Well, hey, I mean, at least this car doesn't just blow. Okay, yep, yeah, there we go. Movie felt naked for a second. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And hello, Fiona Volpe. Volpe, as it turns out, means fox, which she is. Hey, Bond, show us your best odd job impression. Ah, screw it.
You are late.
Late to what? Why, a meeting with the Home Secretary and all the 00 agents, of course.
Hey, can we maybe stop meeting like this?
This is apparently the only time we get all the 00s in a room. And what a cast of characters! We've got 005, who's apparently bored by news of stolen nukes. 008, Maxwell Smart, looks like he's moving up in the world. And we've got 006, played by Harvey Fierstein. Can't wait till he gets that Sean Bean surgery he's been waiting for. Emilio Largo is holding the 2 nukes for a £100 million ransom, so it's time to go to the giant maps MI6 recovered from Goldfinger's ranch. It's not inaccurate, this is just what the world looked like in 1965.
This circle represents the full flying range of the Vulcan. Extensive search has failed to locate any evidence of either a crash or landing, and worldwide reports have proved negative on all airfields large enough to handle the Vulcan. That's all we have, sir.
Thank you, Sir John.
Oh, was that it? You built a 30-foot map for a 15-second demonstration? What, do you repaint it every time you have a meeting?
Let's just jump back to the Moneypenny scene. Bond's seeking out Derval's sister. It's actually not that interesting a scene, except for 2 small bits. First...
Now, James, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. You may be able to calm the old man, but I know better.
So do I, Miss Moneypenny. And I'll thank you not to refer to me as the old man.
Awkward. Bond, get out of there.
I think I had a hat when I came in.
Hey, yeah, wait a second. What did happen to his hat? Odd job?
James?
How else will you recognize her?
Couldn't miss. She has 2 moles on the left thigh.
I'll just have to inspect every vagina in Nassau. Or I can just wait for the screen wipe. Yeah, no shit. The movie jumps directly from, how are you going to find her, to, hey, there she is.
We are 45 minutes into this movie, and only now does the plot actually seem to be going anywhere. Kinda hoping the rest of the flick adopts this new go-to setting.
Your name's James Bond, and you've been admiring my form.
Most girls just paddle around. You swim like a man.
So do you.
I really want to make fun of that exchange because it just doesn't fucking make any sense, but it is almost immediately followed up by what I assume is the only genuinely realistic flirting in the entire franchise.
For effort.
Oh, thank you. I'll wear it so you'll know me next time.
That, Jim, that is how real people flirt. I mean, shit, you can almost call that little back and forth cute. Anyway, let's officially confuse the fuck out of everyone by introducing a 4th Bond girl for the movie. This is Paula Kaplan, and I only know that because of Wikipedia, because Thunderball juggles women so fast you might confuse it for a game of 3-chick Monty. Anyway, her role is to be boat bait, I guess? She shows up just long enough to help be a diversion while Bond rides back to shore with Derval's sister. That's how you catch boats, by the way. The sea operates on a strict finders-keepers policy. That boat is his now. Sorry, Domino.
How do you know that? How do you know my friends call me Domino?
Oh, because it's in the script, see? Here, take a look for yourself.
So, what sharp little eyes you've got.
Thanks? Anyway, Bond's all dressed up for a schmancy party. I wonder what the occasion is. Oh, look, they're playing backup.
What the hell is that? I'm sure it'll be important later.
Oh, awesome. 3rd time in 5 Bond adaptations. Is anyone else getting as tired of Baccarat as I am? So Bond decides he's learned absolutely nothing from Goldfinger and repeatedly taunts number 2 after he loses a single hand of Baccarat.
Yes, I thought I saw a spectre at your shoulder. The spectre of defeat. Ah, it's your spectre against mine.
Yeah, we get it, Jim.
I hoped you'd not be so obvious.
Well, when one has little time, one sort of has to be obvious.
Speaking of obvious, let's see how subtle the bad guys are.
Good night.
Good night.
You must tell me what Mr. Bond had to say, word for word.
Hey, Largo, maybe don't start asking about Bond while he's still in ass-pinching range. So Bond gets back to his hotel room on Soundstage 306 and looks around for Boat Lady.
Paula?
But when she doesn't reply, Bond quickly checks his secret dictionary recorder for a clue.
Man, audiobooks in the 60s were big.
Yogurt and lemon juice. Noun phrase. A popular idiom indicating that...
Well, gee, it's a good thing that cassette tape recorded 5.1 surround sound so Bond could mentalist the ghost hanging out in his room. But first, Billy Joel is out the door. That's not a secret knock.
Come on, guys. We all know the real password.
Keep the door locked. I'll knock 3 times.
Okay.
But Bond opens the door anyway, and...
Well, hello, 00.
I love how the backing music takes a second to catch up, like, oh shit, you got us by surprise.
So Bond finds the guy hanging out in his room and insults him with the Taiwanese knuckle tap.
Aww.
CIA. Sorry about that, Felix, but you're just about to say 007.
Felix, you look... Hey, wait, say that again.
Sorry about that, Felix, but you're just about to say 007.
Pretty sure he knows who he is. Plus, he got as far as 00, which means he's either talking to James Bond, Alec Trevelyan, or he's about to deliver the greatest double take in film history.
Well, hello, Bond and Felix decide to send the guy back to Largo as a failure, where number 2 responds by punching him in the face with a towel. Then he has him thrown into a shark pool, sadly lacking in frickin' laser beams attached to their heads. Quick, let's abruptly jump back to Bond and Felix again. They're hanging out in a random shack when we're treated to Malibu Q.
Oh, no.
007.
What a wonderful surprise.
Well, for me, too.
Yeah, me too. We're almost an hour into this movie and you're just showing up now. Whatever, just gadget us up.
Here we have a Geiger counter. It's waterproof, of course.
But of course. Everything you give me.
Treated with equal contempt. Yes, I know, but that's an underwater camera. It takes 8 pictures in rapid succession by pressing that button there.
You know, like a camera.
Now, in the event of a rebreather not being available, you could use this device. For short periods only, of course, say about 4 minutes.
Wait, hang on, that's just a rebreather.
In the event you cannot find a crossbow, use this crossbow.
A recently developed harmless radioactive device.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Well, obviously, you...
Stick it up your ass.
Swallow it.
Oh.
Now?
Better do it quick before the Oh, too late. So close. While we're at it, I've made a couple jokes about the screen wipe transitions here, but you want to know why? Watch what happens when I let this scene play out in full. I haven't altered this shot at all. And it's over. That's the third 15-second scene we've gotten so far this movie, and frankly, it's starting to get distracting. But not as distracting as the new map. Man, their painters were quick. Bond decides to take a tour of the Disco Volant, but why go up and meet the captain when he can take a picture of the hull?
Just saving that for later.
After running with a frogman and some hand grenades, Bond makes his way back to shore and hitches a ride. Don't mind me, I'm just a man in tiny white shorts.
You've just about saved my life.
Actually, this doesn't seem like such a safe ride.
You better fasten your safety belt.
Bullshit? Is it just me, or would a car like this in the 60s pretty much explode going 100 miles an hour? Maybe it can go that fast because she works for Hydra. Oh, what a sudden yet harmless stop.
This is my hotel.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, so convenient.
You look pale, Mr. Bond. I hope I didn't frighten you.
I see I've always been a nervous passenger.
Wait, was that?
Both hands on the wheel, Mr. Jones. I'm a very nervous passenger.
Well, hey, let's develop that film from before. Okay, well, fuck. There goes the undeveloped film, asshole.
An underwater hatch.
Yeah. So that's how they could leave and get back.
Yes, nobody saw them. Obviously, the whole operation was carried out underwater. So that's where we'll have to look for the plane. Come on, Felix.
I'll bring the prince to the hotel when they're
Whoop, well, I guess fuck her line too. What the hell is happening in this movie? Hey, let's go to Largo's place, where Domino is swimming laps in the pool. The short way. Sure, why not? Hey, while we're at it, let's squeeze a thoroughly threatening conversation into the scene.
I thought perhaps you're another visitor.
No.
Whoa, hey, watch the face.
That gun. Looks more fitting for a woman.
Oh!
You know much about guns, Mr. Bond?
No.
Well, at least he finally admits it.
For you?
Of course. Vargas does not drink, does not smoke,
Does not make love. What do you do, Vargas? Every man has his passion. Mine is fishing.
Are we just not gonna talk about... Okay, alright.
Oh, yeah, and Boat Lady gets grabbed by the bad guys. If you think I'm being abrupt, I mean, I am, but So is the movie. We suddenly just show up here, and then the goons grab her.
I am just getting so lost here. I mean, some scenes last 10 seconds, other ones last 10 minutes. We're jumping all over the place, and we're not getting any characterization for the myriad characters we have in here. It's impossible to keep track. What the hell is next?
Oh, yeah, an Easter parade. Of course, how silly of me. And then we just cut away again to just some guy telling Bond that he can get the power cut from the island.
But you'll have a power cut as you requested, all over the island.
In front of a biology textbook cross-section of a testicle.
I just don't get it, man. This is so convoluted. I just need a chaser, right? Something light, something refreshing to follow that up. So what am I gonna get?
She's dead.
Yeah, Boat Lady's dead. Glad we got to see how that went down. Turns out she took a cyanide capsule. Bond summarily follows this up by forgetting what little he knows about handling guns. He gets found because, obviously, and Largo decides to let the sharks decide. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Largo, now when did you last let your sharks decide? They decide on the other guy. Probably not a big spoiler that Bond survives to the end of the film. Hey, Jim, got anything to add to the end of this encounter?
Sorry, old chap. Better luck next time.
Better luck to the shark? Okay. Oh, no, not another wipe. Wait a minute. Are we supposed to just assume that Bond snuck out of there unnoticed after all that? Bond, what are you doing back here anyway?
Oh.
Oh.
Hello.
Aren't you in the wrong room, Mr. Bond?
Not from where I'm standing.
Since you're here, would you mind giving me something to put on?
Okay. All right, that's pretty awesome. So, of course, this leads to the two of them rolling in the hay, which Bond plans to use to get info out of her late... Fuck, shit, fuck, goddamn, why are the transitions so fucking jarring? Fuck! Okay, fine. So we're back to the Junkanoo parade, and... Seriously?
Title drop.
What was the point of that jump cut?
Was that a euphemism for them fucking? Was it a euphemism for him being quick in the sack? I am so lost here. I feel like I'm missing something.
I hate to think I'm gonna miss anything.
And now we can go somewhere for an interesting talk.
Friends of yours, no doubt. Come in.
Ooh, swerve? Looks like Cookie Monster has a chocolate chip on her shoulder.
My dear girl, don't flatter yourself. What I did this evening was for king and country. You don't think it gave me any pleasure, do you?
I faked every orgasm.
But of course, I forgot your ego, Mr. Bond. James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman, and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing. She repents and immediately returns to the side of right and virtue. But not this one.
This is pretty much a direct fuck you to the Pussy Galore situation from the last film. It's well-deserved.
Thankfully, everyone gets wasted at Junkanoo, so Bond improvises a Molotov cocktail and makes a run for it. Running on a wounded leg, Bond finds himself a place to hide on one of the parade floats. But it doesn't take long for the Blue Meanie to catch up, and Bond uses the diversion to escape to the Kiss Kiss Club. I don't think that's how you put out a fire. The freedom doesn't last long, as Violet Beauregard corners him at the club. And of course, she brought friends. So how's Bond gonna get out of this one? Oh, by taking a bullet through the hand, of course. Wait, how did that work? It went through his hand and into her back?
No.
And with that, Piano Vulva was no more.
One of my friends sits this one out. She's just dead.
That's kind of a shitty one, Bond. Not to mention, that couple's probably going to notice pretty goddamn quick that she's bleeding out on that bright yellow lawn chair. And so the goons left and the night was over, I guess. The next day, Bond goes diving and finds... Well, I just have no idea. It's so well camouflaged. Bond discovers Palazzi's body, and he... Computer, how far into the movie are we? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, experiment time. What was happening an hour and a half into Dr. No?
East, west, just points of the compass, each as stupid as the other. I am a member of SPECTRE.
From Russia with Love?
How does it feel, old man?
Old man? Is that what you chaps in Smash call each other? Smash? Of course. Spectre.
Goldfinger? And what do we get out of Thunderball 96 minutes into the movie?
Do something!
Not each other! Oh my god. I didn't edit that, by the way. They literally float toward each other, then engage in what has to be the most uncomfortable booty call of all time. She steps on a sea urchin on the way out, so Bond sucks the spine out, I guess? How do sea urchins work? I got nothing. And then we get this gem.
It's the first time I've tasted women. They're rather good.
You're the only man to ever make me cry.
Sadly, you're probably not his first, Domino.
Children.
Domino, I have to tell you something.
Oh yeah, by the way, your brother's dead. Also, do you want to give me a foot job? Now, visibly traumatized to the point of being dead inside and out, Domino agrees to help Bond destroy Largo and find the missing bombs.
This is a Geiger counter.
That's a camera.
You press this lever. If it starts clicking, it means the bombs are aboard.
Goes ding when there's stuff. Also, it can boil an egg at 30 places.
Domino gives Bond a lead on a bridge Largo controls, then he realizes we still have half an hour left in the movie and goes straight for the cyanide pill. Okay, it's actually a radioactive tracker so MI6 can follow him. So Bond steals some scuba gear and sneaks aboard the Disco Volant, where once again it becomes apparent that Spectre doesn't really prioritize recognizing your henchmen or your enemies. At the very least, looking them in the fucking eyes once in a while.
Speaking of once in a while, don't forget about that asterisk. It's coming back.
So Largo's team takes the Nickelodeon GAC Marine to collect their eggs, but Bond is soon discovered and a fight sort of ensues. It's really hard to see what's going on, and it just sort of ends suddenly.
Boy, it sure is refreshing to see some of the ways Hollywood hasn't changed in 50 years. I need a drink. Oh. It's full of pennies. This cutaway sucks.
Domino gets caught before she can even use the fucking camera, then gets treated to some really bizarre torture.
And unless you tell me how much Bond knows, I'll be forced to cause you great pain. This for heat, these for cold, applied scientifically and slowly. Very, very slowly.
Largo, this movie is already slow enough. I'm starting to miss Baccarat. So Felix finds Bond with the help of his directiometer, and the Navy SEALs arrive to have an all-out underwater war with Largo's men.
And I'm not joking when I say that the final climactic battle between the Navy SEALs, the Spectre goons, and fucking sharks happens. It is somehow the most boring scene in a movie that is already over 2 hours long, and it takes fucking forever.
No bullshit, from the point Largo's mini-sub starts heading for the bombs, the film places the vast majority of the next 18 and a half minutes underwater. And the last 7 of those minutes were spent on the fight scene without a single shot above water.
I wonder what I was doing 18 minutes ago. What the hell is that? Oh yeah, go back and watch again from when the asterisk first showed up. That is how long we spend underwater.
By the time we fucking finally get out of the water, there's only 7 minutes left in the movie. So I guess we should probably bring this thing to a close, huh? So one of Largo's men has a change of heart and lets Domino free, telling her,
Look, the bomb cannot be exploded now. I threw the arming device into the sea. Do you understand?
Bond takes out the last 2 goons and pimp slaps the shit out of Largo and pulls the lever we've all been dying for the last 126 minutes.
The fast forward. I have not doctored this footage at all.
Used sparingly, this sort of speed-up effect can actually help a scene. But here it's just fucking everywhere. We're moving at the speed of Daffy Duck. Largo manages to get his hands on a gun and... Oh hey, check it out. Bond totally wasn't the one to save the day. It was the normal chick close to the case. Man from U.N.C.L.E. So Largo dies on the wheel, and Bond asks the question we're all asking ourselves.
Who's he?
I don't know, but he helped me.
Oh good, so no one knows. Awesome.
So they throw him overboard, and oh shit, should have gotten off the boat, damn it. Yeah, of course they live. They hop in a raft, Bond gets a lift, credits roll.
Oh my god, are we finally done?
This movie is just slow. It takes over an hour for you to feel like anything's happening, and when things finally do happen, the unimportant parts get stretched out while the plot gets hidden among the 15-second cutaways. The plot is boring. 2 nukes being stolen should be a much bigger deal, but the pace is so slow that you'd think they were going after a guy hawking bootleg copies of Dr. No. The supporting cast is boring. The women have so little characterization that when I sat down to watch for the first time, I couldn't tell who was alive, who was dead, or even how many distinct female characters were even in the movie. And the villain is boring. Emilio Largo is such a bland, dull guy that I was genuinely expecting someone else to show up to spice up the movie. Not every bad guy needs an evil lair, but at least let the guy fucking emote once in a while. Not only that, we never got an answer to the biggest question of all.
What happened to Bond's hat?
I'm not even joking. His hat disappears at the beginning, then he mentions it's gone, and it's never brought up again. I honest to God thought it might actually be relevant, but no bearing on the plot whatsoever. I'm sure there's a name for that sort of thing happening, but I digress. Honestly, I think the saddest thing about this movie is that Ian Fleming didn't live to see it. Yeah, he actually died of a fatal heart attack just 9 months after the court case. He didn't even get to see Goldfinger, arguably the best Bond movie there is. But you know what? If he tried to sit through Thunderball, I think he might have died of boredom.
You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let me sum up my review of Thunderball in 1,000 words. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some legal documents to go over so I can figure out what I'm being sued for. I'm being sued by Ben?
There's a rumble in the sky and all the world can hear it call. They shudder at the fury of the mighty Thunderball. The power of her engines now has drowned in the sea. The deadly force from within her is somewhere running free. Thunderball, your fiery breath can burn the coldest man. And who is going to suffer from the power in your hand? Thunderball. Somewhere there's a man who could stop the thing in time. He is known by very few, but he is feared by all in crime. By courage and by fighting, he has not been known to fall. So he strikes like Thunderball.
You swim like a man.
So do you.
Very, very slowly.